Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Adventure 14 here. So, usually I do Minecraft videos, and this is a little bit of a different topic that I'm used to. Well, I talk about this a lot with friends and stuff, but I don't usually do videos on it. But one thing I've been hearing a lot of lately is the question about Golb. Like, what is Golb? Where did he come from? Da-da-da-da-da. And why did he show up in the middle of Come Along With Me? So, these questions are kind of easily answered if you think about it the right way. Basically, it could go along the lines of Golb is chaos, which is the answer that I normally hear given. People are just like, I don't know, he embodies chaos, because that's the answer that Ice King gave in his little flashback to being Simon, that he doesn't actually remember, but, that little flashback, he said that he embodies chaos, like Golb does. Golb embodies chaos. So what does that mean exactly? Because some of you are sitting there like, okay, yep, okay, thanks, Adventure. That really helps us. Thank you very much. So, let me explain. Okay, so before it was around, before there was time, before there was anything, there were monsters. As quoted directly by the Lich, or Sweet Pea, whatever you want to call him at this point. Before there was time, before there was anything, there were monsters. Now, those monsters I think weren't actually the only thing. I believe there were other beings such as the King of Mars and Golb. On the other side, there were, like, other beings that wanted good for the universe, and then the monsters who wanted bad and wanted everything destroyed. But I believe that at some point they came to an agreement on what the world should be. Boom! World pops into existence. So that was created by them after they agreed what it should be. So they have everything set up now, so there has to be some kind of balance in the universe to keep everything balanced out. So they decide that they pick sides. There's all the good beings in the universe on one side and all the bad beings in the universe on the other. So I think they kind of created themselves warriors to keep everything balanced out between them. I believe the warriors for the good side are probably Finn and Gob. Hard to keep track of. Okay, but those guys, and then Finn, and yeah. And then on the other side, we got Lich and Orgolorg, and then at the head of everything, like the King of Mars, on the evil side is Golb. So basically, he controls everything. But I think most of Golb's side has either been destroyed or given up. So the Lich has been kind of put under. And in an episode where he does return, which he returned from an alternate universe that Finn opened up when they made a wish in Season 5. The Lich came back that way, and he said that he was the last scholar of Golb. So I'm assuming he's the last one of Golb's army to be there and be, like, still in action. So he's trying to destroy everything the way that Golb wants it because he's the last one. So after that, Finn kinda almost bites it, and then Sweet Pea kills that version of the Lich, kinda permanently cementing him as a good guy. Okay, now to even explain more. Now, Sweet Pea's a good guy, so that version of the universe's Lich is gone. Like, he's a good guy now. And then the alternate universes that got there around the time when that one was got there and then got destroyed as well. So now all Golb's army is gone. Orgolorg returns for a short time, gets his butt kicked by Finn and Jake, and then returns to being Gunter. And then, of course, Gunter wishes at the end of Come Along With Me to be Ice King. And for some drums, I guess. Yeah, this is fine. Basically, the idea with this is that now all the guys are gone on the other side. So now Golb is kind of in a rough spot. He's got to do something now. Like, he hasn't done anything really for the entire series. But this was, well, it was pretty much planned forever that this was going to happen, and then he would come there. If you actually listen in the episode The Mountain of Matthew, the dude in the mountain, Mountain of Matthew, the dude in the mountain, Matthew. He talks about that he will emerge in his final form and stop the second coming of Golb. What we see in Come Along With Me is the second coming of Golb. It's been talked about in Adventure Time before. It didn't suddenly show up. It's been there since the beginning of the show. In Season 1, Episode 3, Prisoners of Love. But in that episode, Jake actually, Ice King actually meets with Golb. Like, Golb is actually there, visually, in the episode. That's when he showed up. So Ice King met with Golb. Why did this happen? I will tell you. Golb, I believe, tries to swallow up the ones that are against him, such as Finn, so on, the warriors that they have set up to fight against them, and people that have gone way beyond their expiration date, such as Ice King, several hundred years beyond his expiration date, to be exact. Basically, Finn kicked Ice King in the head really hard, and then he also hit his head on metal bars of his cage, to put princesses in, casual stuff, He has, like, that cage there. He hit his head on the bar of that cage, and I think Finn he kicked him hard enough that I think, in technical human terms, it killed him. It would have went into a coma, and then he would have died. His soul left his body, flew through the afterlife area, met with Golb, but then Ice King was actually able to escape Golb because the crown's keeping him alive. Basically, it's allowing his soul to avert Golb if he does die, because technically he doesn't die. It's like dying but not dying. So his soul passes by Golb, returns to his body, and he just pops back into life like nothing ever happened. He's just like, oh, what happened? Princesses? Oh. So basically, he's allowed to escape death as long as he has that crown. Now that he's Simon, he'll live like a normal lifespan. He's like 47 or something like that. So, normal human lifespan. He's a human. And, if you've ever noticed, in the episode Fuhoi or whatever, it was season 5. It's a weird name. I can't pronounce it right. You're just going to have to go with me on this way. It was like Phoy, I guess? Fuhoi? I don't know. But Finn goes into a pillow fort to think about Flame Princess and, just like what he's doing with his life, dating scene, all that. And he falls out through a door and into an alternate universe made of pillows. The door closes, he's unable to get back. He lives out his entire lifespan in this universe. And then when he dies in that universe, he flies into space just like Ice King did, meets with Golb, dodges him because either he's so important that the universe won't let him die, and I'll get into that theory a little more later, or basically he had to go back and live his normal lifespan in our world that we watch instead of that world. So he got to live 2 lifespans, but he actually threw that into the vault, so now he doesn't remember it at all. Okay, but getting more into that first theory there, if the world doesn't want Finn to die, why? Got your answer. The reason is because, again, it put him there as the warrior. That's why he keeps getting reincarnated. He was Shoko, he was the Comet, he's now Shermie, probably. I'm pretty sure he's Shermie. I don't think that Beth is Jake reincarnated. I think it's just one of his distant, like, great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandkids. And the whole world now is reset because it's like another 1,000 years later. So every 1,000 years or so, Catalyst Comet comes, brings about an age of change, changes the world. So then things kind of start over from their natural beginnings. The world is pretty advanced. Apocalypse, we're back to our almost medieval with a hint of, like, normal stuff. Some techie stuff, robotic arms, all that. Like, they know what stuff like that is. But the technology's a little bit more advanced and weirdly advanced every single time until the world's like something that it wasn't even. And I'm assuming now, after all those years, even though the humans, it turns out they weren't extinct, they were hanging out with Finn's mom on that island, I think they're extinct now, like 1,000 years later again. I'm pretty sure they're extinct this time. So now, I guess Jake's pups are the dominant race. That, like, the dominant creature that's taken over most of Ooh. The Candy Kingdom is now like the Pup Kingdom. It's literally the new thing. The Candy Kingdom were some of the dominant people in that world, and then Apocalypse started over, all started anew. And as we can see from the intro, actually, the Candy Kingdom got kind of advanced over that timeline. But anyway, back to the universe not letting Finn die thing. So it's like however many years later now, and Finn is back again. Okay, so after all that, after me battling on forever, he must be the warrior for the other side. That's why they chose him. Some people are like trying to be all like, oh, the world just wants him to adventure forever. But no, he's an agent for good. He is like good itself. That's why he's put there, and that's why he's so clean and pure and help everybody with everything. He wants to help people. He changes from lifetime to lifetime, and one of them he was actually kind of evilish when he was Shoko, which I think the universe was so up in the air with the sudden change that just happened with the apocalypse and everything, that it didn't know what to make him. It put him on the evil side to balance things out because there was nothing on that side. The Lich wasn't really around yet for Billy to actually kick his butt, and then Finn to kick his butt later. He wasn't there yet, so Finn was the bad guy a little bit, but he still had that little bit of good in him that, like, he made him look at PB in a good way. And that's probably why they're such good friends, because her and Shoko were friends until Shoko stabbed her in the back. But Finn already kind of knew PB, so they became good friends, and it was almost like having an old friend back. Boom! Mind blown! So, after all that, I think they're all agents of opposite sides, like they are good and evil. So when they say that Golb embodies chaos, what they're saying is he's literally the head of the bad side. He's the guy with the eye patch, the cat, and the weird whatever exotic food sitting in the reclining office chair that was expecting you. So if anything I've said here should blow your mind, any of it at all, it should be that Golb was there the entire time. If you look this up, you probably didn't notice. You should go back, watch the episodes that I mentioned, the both of them with Golb in them, and maybe even the Mountain of Matthew, so that you can see him be mentioned. And you could go look up the one which comes back from an alternate world, you know, I was talking to Finn about being the Scholar of Golb. But he's been mentioned so many times out through the series, and it has been hinted at. It's only visible if you've actually really gone through Adventure Time with a fine comb, which I have. But they are universally important. Okay, and then for the last bit, where did Golb come from? I'm assuming that he was one of the beings that was there forever. He was just eternal. Like, he never dies. He wasn't created. He's just there forever. And since our minds can't comprehend the idea of forever, it's a little hard to understand. But it's like most religions' God. So, he's like the anti-good, and he's been there forever. Just like I believe the King of Mars being, I think, that universe's actual god. Like, he created the world, their version of God, like the god, is the agent for good. It's like God and devil, like battling forever. The only thing that boggles my mind, it makes me think weird, is neither of them run any kind of underworld or death world, and that's why Adventure Time is so interesting, because it doesn't go by any of today's actual, for real, religions. It doesn't go by anything we've ever seen before. It has its own religion. It has like a hint of Christianity, it has a hint of Buddhism, whatever else, just a million different religions all mixed, and then, well, it has some that we've never seen before. Because, I mean, reincarnation, there's a god. It's so weird and so complex that it would take forever to study it. But this is what I make of it. Alright, so thank you guys for watching. I hope that you enjoyed, because this is one of the first ones of these that I've done. I think I kind of blew away your minds. I hope I did. If you want to like the video, give it a like. Consider subscribing to see more stuff like this, and Minecraft, and music videos, and all sorts of stuff that I do. Some original content, gun games. It's great. So consider subscribing. Man, if you heard or saw Golb in any of the episodes or anything that I've mentioned, or even any other ones that I somehow missed, let me know, because I want to hear about it. I want to hear what you think. If you have an idea of your own, of how Adventure Time came to be, or where Golb came from, let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll make a video about it. Who freaking knows? Because, I mean, it's so up in the air, and it's so peculiar what it even could even be. It's just so, it's out of your brain. It's just weird out there. But if you have an idea, leave it in the comments. Maybe I'll make a video about it. Thank you very much, everybody, and I will catch you in the next one. Thanks, guys. Goodbye.
Only
It was time for Thomas to leave. He had seen everything.